is a D6 generation pip. Yeah, one of those dots on the side of a six-sided die. Yeah, a pip. You know, a short pip. Little something. Yeah, about anything gaming related. Sometimes featuring Craig, sometimes featuring Russ. We'll see what's coming up today. All right, and we're back. All right, folks, we got to do a recap. We're going to have one of our dwarves showing up slightly late, but he can miss the recap. I think that'll be fine. So who would like to recap today? As you can see from the screen, we have a small fire occurring in the manor formerly known as Trencidar. So who would like to recap what happened last time and why the heck there's a fire going on there?
Not me. I'm the worst at recaps.
I can't do it because somebody might try to pin the fire on me, and that's just not happening.
Fearing set the fire.
Pretty sure telling stories is a bard thing. So,
ooh, look at that! All right,
I didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
All right, game boy, come on.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I'll go for it.
All right, Dan, make it happen.
It was pretty short. So where we last left our intrepid adventurers, they were in a fierce battle with a bloodied bear who had just interrupted perhaps a friendly dice game from a bunch of red brands, and the bear was bloodied. Karluk had just gotten up. He was weary from the fight, and Pirik had the brilliant idea to pop the cork on some type of flammable liquid from a barrel that was pouring out into the battlegrounds, which he lit. And as the battle rolled out through the room and we were chasing the bugbears and the goblins who were trying to flee, we went up into the cavern with the bridges where we met Glassstaff and more red brands. And we managed to finish off that group rather quickly. Glassstaff, with his amazing staff, attempt to block several blows, but managed to block none of them. Fell like a cheap Charlick, and then we grabbed Glassstaff and the Glassstaff and headed out of the mansion quickly as the fire and smoke continued to pour out from the room, blazing behind us, and sounds of explosions and the manor crumpling down as we were all trouncing away, heading off to Auntie's farm.
I love some trouncing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There was, in fact, some trouncing. And yes, many died, including bugbears as well as Glassstaff. You also did get, I believe you're carrying his body.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have whatever's on Glassstaff's body. And you ran out of the manor as the fire just sort of started consuming the upper floors. And now it's the early morning. And you can sort of see from the top of the mountain there, most of Phandalin has a pretty good view of this fire now. They just acquired a lighthouse, apparently, on the top of the hill there. So are you guys heading straight to Alderley Farm?
That's the rally point.
And did you want to have any discussions on the way there?
I'm with the two dwarves, so I need one of the dwarves to show up for the full discussion. It wouldn't be fair to pick sides.
They're both here now.
We're both in.
Oh, why does my Zoom not show them both?
Yes, and you were split up, right? I think you were split up.
Me and Karluk are together because I had
Ulrich and I.
Yeah, I jumped back over the short little chasm to get Karluk, and we went out a separate way.
Fire starter.
Yeah, you guys went out the front door. So they're a little behind. So everyone else who's not with the halfling and doesn't really know Auntie, are you going to wait when you get to the edge? You can see here the green path is the way the party came. Where the little red X is in the middle of the forest, that's where the underground passage comes out at the forked tree. And then that path, you guys remember the way back to Alderley Farm, which is where Rafe's grandma aunt lives. Are you going to wait there? Are you going to go all the way back? What are you guys going to do for regrouping?
Wizard, do you know the way to this farm?
Well, it shouldn't be too hard.
So that's a no, I take it.
Well,
Russ, I'm going to look for
maybe.
tracks back to the farm.
Oh, okay, make a check. It would be
Survival, right? It should be
What's that?
survival. I think
Survival.
it's
Yeah, that'll work.
I thought you said the Bible. I was like, oh.
22.
I look at my brother trying to find tracks. Bad shoes on a shoemaker's wife and bad horses on a smith's horse. Look at him try.
Well, he succeeds. The trail was he gets a good trail, and you can make pretty good. It looks like the folks coming in weren't sneaking in any way, and in fact, you recognize some bare feet prints of a halfling, as well as the minotaurs as well. So you're pretty sure it's them going.
Right.
They were
We'll
coming
follow
towards
that
the
back
manor.
then.
So you're backtracking. All right.
Yep.
So you follow the trail pretty easily, and you do come out of the woods, and you can see across the rolling hills there, in the first light of morning, Alderley Farm there. It looks like a farmhouse and some nice fields. You assume it's Alderley Farm for those of you who haven't been here before. Are you going to wait on the edge of the woods? You're going to go right back to the farm? What are you guys doing?
Peter, does that look like the farm we're supposed to go to?
oh, that's Auntie's farm. Yeah, you betcha.
Will they welcome us?
Let us go.
Will they welcome us, Pyric?
Oh, Auntie's a nice type. Those red brands tried to burn her house down. As you can see, they had a lot of combustible fluids up in their hideout, and they were trying to share them in a not so nice way. And that's how we ended up there.
Look back over my shoulder at the blaze and say, so this was a little bit of payback then.
Oh, I'm not the vengeful type. What do they say? An eye for an eye leaves everybody trying to be a beholder. And that's just not a world I want to be in. There's a lot of anti-magic going on, and everybody's getting disintegrated if you look the wrong way. So that's, that's an old elf saying from the north.
Aye, your grace is wise and wisdom.
I'm not a grace. I'm just a coward and
very good.
who occasionally blows things up.
Calls everybody but that Pyric. Don't take it as an honor.
Oh, okay then. That's fine. If that's a speech affectation that you have, dwarf major, pain in the butt, then that's okay.
Where the mountain comes the Morden, and the Morden goes to the mountain. Let us go to the elderly farm you point to.
Absolutely. Auntie's a really good cook. And Euphemia, as you can see by these tracks, she doesn't really care what she does.
I guess Russ will approach the farm.
All right.
I push Ulrich in the lead.
All right. The farm's pretty quiet, actually. There's not much going on right now. It's still pretty early in the morning. It's like 4:30 a.m. So you wouldn't expect too many people to be up. Of course, it is a farm, so it might be getting close to chore time. But right now it's quiet as you approach the farm. It's a lovely thatched farmhouse. There's some outer houses as well. And are you guys just going to right up to the door there and just knock?
Oh, yeah. Walk right up and pound on it.
All right. So, Joe, you knock on the door.
Let's be. Come on, dwarven fellows. Let's be nice about this. Recently, they've been attacked by Red Brand. Let us not accost them in their mail. Let's just call out Auntie, Euphemia's Auntie, Alderleaf Auntie.
Okay, so a couple things happen. You hear the sound of footfalls from stairs coming downstairs inside. And you also see a face pop out of a window from the second floor of a small child looking out the window.
Oh, carp.
And then a moment later, the door unlocks a crack, and it is indeed Krellian. She opens the door, and you recognize her, and she opens it up. Oh, thank goodness. I was afraid it was more Red Brands. Is Euphemia with you? Is she okay? And all of a sudden, she kind of glances because her house is sort of facing kind of generally in the direction of the hill. And you can see there's a pretty bright light and fire coming from the top of the hill. So, which is unusual for this time of day. So she looks and goes, oh my goodness, my stars. What's happened to Tressendar Manor?
Oh, You know,
I just
Auntie,
glance
that's a
at the
funny
elf.
story. Let's go in and have some coffee and talk about it.
Russell, is there any town alarms or anything going off? Like,
Well, it's still very early, so it's not entirely, and there's not a lot of sound coming from this thing, so that may be about to happen, but maybe no one's noticed yet.
what's the chances this is going to burn a lot of excess woods?
Well, make a perception check.
Is that just a regular perception?
Yeah, unless you've got some kind of skill in forestry.
I don't have anything
or
higher than that.
land
so-
management or anything like that, or maybe California wildfires. I don't know.
That's a nat 20, brother.
Ah, 20. What? Okay, wait. I gotta get your card. All right, here we go. Let's see. Gotta go to.
I expanded my hacking of the system from just healing to all my rolls now.
All right.
That's
You can turn
dedication
this
to
in,
the
John,
party,
at any
John.
time to re-roll a skill or attack roll. So it gives you a free re-roll.
So you get a reroll? Okay.
Yeah, and you're feeling like the way the hill is structured, it might burn a few of the trees up there, but it doesn't seem likely that it's going to spread to become some kind of big fire. Also, you notice with the nat 20, like the land's pretty damp. It looks like there's been some good rains lately, so there's not a high risk. You know, if there was a little Smokey the Bear sign here, it would say fire risk low.
So the burning down of a civilization will bring back more natural growth?
Yes. Yeah, that is a possible interpretation.
I'm
As a druid.
unconcerned then. I'm unconcerned.
All right, take a point of inspiration.
I have one. Does anybody need inspiration?
You can also use it as a hit point heal. Don't forget.
I will if nobody. Does everybody have inspiration?
I have it.
Don't think I.
Oh, Dan, also, since you did the
All right,
summer, you
I'll
get a point
heal
of
then.
inspiration also.
I do not have one, but you heal.
Oh, you don't
That's-
have it? No, you take the inspiration. That's more important than healing.
Okay.
We're probably going to take a rest anyway. So
All right then.
All right.
Good thinking.
As you're having this you're looking up at the thing and you're having this little discussion with Auntie in the doorway, you can start to make out some shadowy figures coming out of the woods. A pair of them. And Auntie sees, Quellian sees them too. More are those, could you be being chased by red brands?
What do their silhouettes look like?
It's hard to tell this distance. Make a perception check.
Everybody?
Whoever's looking. Those are pretty good rolls.
Yeah, we all see that.
Yeah, you can
Whatever.
tell that it's a large creature with big horns coming out of its head and a little halfling.
It's bugbears.
Aye, it's the boss man and little sister.
I believe that's your niece.
Oh, thank the stars. Well, where are my manners? Come in, come in. She calls out, Euphemia, Euphemia. And she's beckoning to you, Ray, from across the fields.
Euphemia, still holding Karlik's hands, just begins to skip in happiness to be back at home and to see Auntie and to know all of her friends are safe. And barely audibly, Garlic almost has to like listen twice or really strain to listen. I say to him, "There's something I need to tell you. I'm a bit ashamed, but I was once a red brand, and the man that you carry, he tried to have me killed. So I'm glad that he's dead." And then I skip off.
Yeah, hold on. When I go into your auntie's house, should I take my shoes off? And what do I do with this body?
Yes, we'll take
What kind of shoes does a bovine wear?
we'll take
So-
Two main concerns.
So dwarf friends, notice how happy Euphemia is. That's her murder glow. After she gets her murder on, she does a little skippity scoppity. I have that in my journal of great things in the adventure. She has that tell, but I have not told her she has that yet. But you look for that in the future, and you know what she's up to.
does have that glint in her eye. No, I lead Karlik to the barn, and we put glass staff in there, and we kind of cover him with hay, just a little bit, just in case, not bury him under there completely, but just enough to hide him just a little bit. And I'm going to also look through his secret pockets. I'll leave his his bags or anything, coin purses or anything. I mean, I'll snatch that. But I'm looking for secret pockets he may have hidden.
Euphemia, maybe you should let me do this. I will use the insights from the north to find if anything is of particular interest from an arcane nature.
I won't push your hands away.
Okay. Your auntie seems very, very disturbed by the going-ons of last night. Perhaps you should fill her in carpet and with whatever rendition of the truth is most convenient to you.
I say, okay, and I skip off, and I say, just make sure that Cowlick gives you the staff, because I know you've been looking for that.
Oh, my staff. Oh, Cowlick. Thank you for bringing it to me.
Euphemia, when you search the body, you find he doesn't have a lot of money on him. He only has like 30 gold pieces, which is, not a lot of, it's actually a lot of money, but not as much as you might expect a big leader type to have.
Yep.
So there may have been more in his room or something, but you did find some interesting things. Of course, the glass staff, from whence he probably got his nickname. You find also 2 scroll cases and a folded note.
So Pirate keeps track of all of our party loot, so I'll let him track the 2 scroll cases, the glass staff, and the 30 gold. And I'll just write down that I have the folded note.
Russ, are we all together at the moment?
You are now. So they've come up. They've the other 2 come up, and the halfling farmer there, Quillian, who apparently is Euphemia's aunt, is beckoning you. Where are my manners? Where are manners? Please come in. Please come in.
So I'm envisioning it, John, that Pyric saw me and Cowlick go into the barn, and he kind of trotted out.
I'll stand in the doorway of the barn, and I'm just gonna. I'll join up with you all in a few minutes. I'm gonna try to cover our tracks, and so Russ, I'm gonna go back and try to cover up our tracks to the farm.
All right, make a survival check.
While he's doing that, I go in and eat all the food that she lays out in front of me.
I'm going to use my card. Russ.
There you go to re-roll that terrible roll. Sure. Oh, you got a new terrible card. All right.
I hate your
pretty
card.
confident. You're pretty confident that the tracks are well covered.
I think I just made him point right to us.
And I get to play this card when next you roll. When next you try to attack someone, you will deal minimum damage. Actually, I get to choose when I pull this, so you won't know exactly when it happens. Okay. But there you go.
That's not so bad.
I'll leave Cowlick and Pyric in the barn, and I'm going to go in and introduce my new friends to Auntie.
Oh, Cowlick. All right. You keep an eye out while I do some magicking. That's what we call it up the north, the sorceries. I'm going to do some magicking, and I'll do ritual detect magic.
Okay. So, you're doing that. Auntie is noticing that you guys are looking pretty rough. So those of you who went to zero, you're pretty bloody. You're pretty beat up. You're all exhausted, right? Most of you spent most of your spell slots and most of your energy. So you're all pretty wiped out and tired, and your clothing's a bit ripped and tattered. And you all look like you could use a rest. So she pretty much says that. She goes, oh, you all look like you could use a really good rest. I do have a spare bedroom, but it's a little small for all of you. You're also welcome to, I apologize, it's not more comfortable, but you're welcome to make use of the barn. And of course, the Stone Hill Inn's in the middle of town, but you're more than welcome to take advantage of the barn and just stay here if you want to get a little rest before like lunchtime today or something. Or certainly at least through Levensies. What does, so what kind of magicking are you doing? You're detecting magic there, Seppi?
On all the various objects that belong to.
So you detect magic. You're sensing strong magic on the staff and on the 2 scroll cases.
Can I tell what flavor?
Yes. So
I would assume abjuration on the staff.
Yes. On the scroll.
That's impressive, Seppi.
What?
That's impressive that you're like, I assume it's abjuration. I'm like, wow. Starting to know the schools of magic. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's very nice of you to say.
So you get evocation on 1 scroll.
Oh.
and you get enchantment on the other scroll.
Okay. Do bards in this world, are they capable of using other people's magical items or no?
It depends. It depends on the magic item. Like, you mean, like, can you attune to a magic item?
No, like using the scrolls. Because
If you can,
They have to be on their list.
it has to be in the magic. Yeah, it has to be a spell you can cast.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to look at the evocation one because evocation is my jam. It's my main man.
Okay. It is a scroll of fireball.
Ooh.
That cannot possibly go wrong. That could just
You've proven yourself to be extremely careful with fire.
I try. I try.
So this is an excellent.
Yeah,
This is excellent right here.
He needs
I've always
the fire.
wanted to learn fireball.
He needs the fire to be able to melt all the ice he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good. And what about the enchanting scroll? So a glass staff was obviously some sort of sorcerer or wizard.
Oh, the other scroll.
Mhm.
It is a scroll of charm person.
Ooh, that could be useful as well.
So you have both those. So make a note of that. You have both of those.
Yeah.
And then you have the staff, which you're going to have to attune to figure out what it does.
Does that take a long rest, a week, a year? What does that take?
Usually a long rest.
All right, that's definitely going to be on the top of my long rest list. Do I do that instead of getting my spells back, or is that in addition?
No, you can do all that during the rest period. So during a long rest. Sorry, go ahead, John.
I was going to say the other thing you're going to want to do, Seppi, is copy that fireball into your spellbook.
Oh, is that how that
And then
works?
Then you'll always have it. You could also copy charm person if you want. When you copy it, you lose the scroll goes away, but you'll have it forever.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
It
Both
adds
of those
to your new
things.
spells. And as an evocation, your evocation, right?
Yep.
Or we haven't. Have you picked your school? Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So as evocation, I think it takes half as long, and it costs you half as much to write in.
What do I need to do that? How much does it cost?
I forget the exact amounts in the players. I'll have to look it up. But I can look it up in between things. Also, the charm person, there's 4 of us that can cast it, but we would burn the scroll when we cast it. So if you want to keep it in your scroll, you can. Because every single one of us has charm person on our spell list.
Oh, that's
Bard, the
amazing.
cleric, myself, and you.
And
I would love
No, wait,
that.
he's a paladin, not a cleric. A paladin doesn't work on it, I don't think.
I would love that for my versatility.
No. Yeah, I'm fine.
All
with
the
you
boys are very impressed by my versatility.
Your charming person.
Euphemia, you also have the folded note. What did you do with that?
I know I have that.
What I'm
Yeah.
going to do first is, Auntie, where are my manners? These are my new friends. This is Thrall, and I point to Thrall.
Did I make it back already, Russ?
You did, and you're extremely confident that your tracks are impenetrable to any person's gaze.
Don't worry. There won't be anybody following us that way.
Thanks, Thrall. And this is Ulrich, and they're brothers.
By the way, Karluk, as he closes the door, you can clearly see that he's tromped all up and down the path, and he's made it 3 times worse. Like, even from where you're sitting.
Oh, somebody's got a bear poop out there.
Because he's so tired and bloody.
And this is my new friend, Karlik. He was here earlier, but I can't remember if I officially introduced him. And you know Pyric, he was here earlier too. And so, Auntie, that's a good idea. We'll get cleaned up. I'll show them where the wash basin is. And then I'll take Karlik and whoever else, maybe Pyric will go up to the room, and maybe the brothers can bed down in the hay barn. Although there's an icky dead person in there, so I don't know about that. But they're dwarves. They'll be fine.
The barn will be fine.
They're really tough. And then Thrall and Ulrich, you haven't had Auntie's blueberry crumble yet. Don't worry. I'll make sure she makes us some for breakfast.
Oh, you offered me some back in the cavern. It's very good.
He's still got it on his beard.
Just a little bit. I've been munching on it on the way back.
I forgot. That's right. You did have a piece. Well, I'll make
I
sure
still
you
have
get
some
more.
blueberries. I can make a fresh batch.
Oh, thanks, Auntie.
She yells over to Carp to get on that. And
This is Carp. He's my
Carp's
he's my
a young lad. He's been running around the house. He was peeking out the window, and now he's been running around with Auntie, helping get some morning. They've got some coffee brewing. You're already smelling some amazing coffee smells coming out of the kitchen. Carp's been running up and down with some. He ran at the bar and came back with a basket full of eggs and he looks like he's getting ready to make a breakfast for 20, which is for hobbits, is about 3 people.
Right.
And he's already on that process.
I'll tell you guys all what the breakfast menu is after we take a rest. Here's where the wash basin is. And then Russ, tell me whoever's maybe next to me, just randomize it, or however you want to do it, next to me at the wash basin, and then whoever that person is, we'll read the note together.
Okay. Who's at the wash basin here? Let me just roll a die. I didn't get my dice ready. This is ridiculous. I'll just roll a virtual die. Here we go. How many are there? 5 of you now?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do D6 -1. Rerolling ones. So 3, 1, 2, 3. It's Karlik.
Oh, he left the room.
We'll make it Joe then. Joe.
All right.
I look at the basin. I wash my face in it, snot into the wash basin, wash my beard after I snotted into it, and go, "Hey, anybody need help in the kitchen?"
I almost forgot. I found this note. Let's read it together.
Oh, what have we got there, little one?
All right, Rafe, you can center this in the middle of the screen. The note looks just like this.
It's so centered.
For our folks reading along on audio, it is a note that reads, Lord Albrecht, my spies in Neverwinter tell me that strangers are due to arrive in Phandalin. They could be working for the dwarves. Capture them if you can, kill them if you must, but don't allow them to upset our plans. See that any dwarven maps in their possession are delivered to me with haste. I'm counting on you, Larno. Don't disappoint me. And it is signed with a symbol that looks like a spider in black ink.
Spider! The spider! This must be brought to the attention of the others. It seems important. And we are searching for our brethren for a reason. The dwarves have lost something very important in this town, or is about.
Ulrich, I assume they somehow mean you, and we did travel in with another dwarf. Pyric knows where he was off to, but I don't know who Lord Albrecht is or who Larno is. I don't know those people.
Honestly, I'm not familiar myself. I just know that I came here to help Aldrich, and I guess my brother's helping somewhat.
Yes.
He's what they call fairly helpful. Anyway, but we also
I believe Larno is the first name of Lord Albrecht.
Okay. Well, I don't know who they are, but I'll make sure that I show this to the others in the morning. Well, I'm off to bed, Ulrich. See you later.
Good night, little one. Sleep well. I will find something warm in the barn to sleep with, and not the glass staff body.
All right. So are you all going to take a long rest? That's going to actually take us to probably mid-afternoon since it's early morning now. So probably just after lunchtime, like 1 or 2 probably.
Yeah.
Does that sound good, everybody? You're all going to take a rest. Resting in 5e restores all your hit points. It restores all your hit dice, which you can use during a short rest to get to heal quickly. And then it also restores all your spell slots. And you can use that time also to attune with things like magic items. And when you attune to the magic item, you get a full understanding of it. So there's no like guessing or anything else. I'll just give you the full description.
Do we know what happened to Adric and the other dwarf that's related to me that came in here?
Well, Adric is supposedly went into town with some of their other companions. That was the last thing that they know. And but Grundon was actually captured, and he's supposedly at the Crag Castle.
Okay.
Cragmaw Castle.
Cragmar Castle.
Yep.
Adric is with the Lord Hallwinter.
Yeah, it's actually Aldrich.
And when you say that, when you say Cragmar Castle, and you mention this, Auntie's just about to bring out another helping, and she says, yes, you all mentioned Cragmar Castle last time, and I tell you, Radoth the Druid, he's the guy I go to for when I'm trying to find anything. If anybody knows where that place would be, it would be him. So let me know if you want to know more about him at some point.
Where is this Radoth the Druid?
Well, my understanding is he lives in the ruins of a town called Thunder Tree. So that might be a place you want to go. I don't know. He's usually around there.
But there's another
he
reason
himself
to go
mostly. You know how these druids are. No offense.
Don't we know?
How do we get to Thunder Tree?
I can mark it on your map. Here,
How many days is it
I'll mark
from
it while
here?
you nap, and I'll have it ready for you when you wake up.
How many days is it from here?
Oh, not too far. Let the DM check. The DM is checking. Let's see here.
Cowlick fell asleep in his coffee.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm going to help clean up the house afterwards, after the long nap.
Memory check.
If we go to
Yes.
We have the fine leather map case that is referred to in this note, but we don't have the map that goes in it.
You do not have the map that goes in it. You do have the fine leather map case, though. You found that where the
new proprietor of the Cave Inn, he didn't know anything about this map, did he?
No.
Okay. With my understanding of regional politics in the region, do I know a Lord Albrecht?
Good question, Pyric.
Hang on a second. Oh, no. Make a check. Either do you have a history check or anything like that?
I have history, yes.
Go for it.
Hey, Russ, let me know when it's...
This is very concerning me. I'm going to use my inspiration and think about Lord Hallwinter and think about how badly people can cover up footprints when they don't use their inspiration. And...
to reroll, it's the same thing.
And then...
Actually, it's not, because you could have picked which roll you got and it wouldn't have got an after.
22.
There you go. Nice.
I guess that's true.
So yes, you remember that you're pretty sure that you heard that name and you think it was mentioned by Sildar at some point. You think he mentioned that he was looking for him. And would you get 22?
22.
And you do know he had a nickname, but you can't remember exactly what it was.
Huh.
Like it may have began with a G.
Oh, so Lord Albrecht
F.
is the corpse.
Yeah.
I assumed it might be. So he is the person, knowing that this, is he the rightful heir to Tressendar Manor and Phandalin?
Well,
Right
who
now,
is?
grateful heir to nothing.
What, are you dead? I think our next move is to go to Thunder Tree. We have two reasons to go there.
Thunder Tree is about, by the way, you asked, Auntie says by horse, or it's about maybe a half day to a day's ride.
What is it by dwarven foot?
Halfling foot, maybe closer to, I don't know, day and a half.
All right, we shall ride.
What are
Let
you
me know when
riding?
Raz, let me know when it's breakfast time.
All right, are you guys doing your long rest?
Yes.
Oh, I thought this was after our long rest.
Well, breakfast will be before your long rest, because breakfast is before you go to bed.
Oh, I thought you were having her do that. She was going to cook while we were asleep. Okay, got it.
Okay. Are you guys going to have your long rest? Because if you're long resting, we need to level up. Congratulations, you're all level 3.
All right.
So let's do
Two
some quick
things.
leveling.
Point of interest. Two things, Russ.
Yeah.
Just for I don't know if this is a house rule of yours or not, but normally you only get half your hit dice back when you long rest.
Oh, I thought it was full. Anyway, this
No.
one we'll do full.
But it hasn't come into play. And then the other thing. So I looked into the. So you can copy a scroll you can prepare. So you won't be able to copy that scroll to your 5th level, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's a
Well,
third
I'll
level
save
spell.
it for emergencies.
And
then.
it's normally 50 gold per level and 2 hours per level to copy. So that would normally be like 150 gold and 6 hours to copy, but it's evocation, so it'd be half both of those for you.
It's awesome.
But
Thank
you
you,
get-
John.
But he can't do that because he can't normally
But he
cast
can do,
Fireball
but
yet.
charm, you can do charm person because it's first level. It'll only cost you 50 gold in 2 hours.
Ooh.
So 50 gold,
And that's-
50
you
gold
can
in the
already cast.
materials, right? That he has to buy.
Yeah, it's just all the junk that you need to put it into your spell book. It's just magic ink and whatever.
That's
Um,
exciting.
I didn't realize that, Russ. What I thought I would do while we're leveling up is we can like back role play just a titch. I was going to describe for the listeners what the breakfast was, and then maybe do again for listeners
Yes.
that maybe have like jumped in midway. We could do a brief introduction like it would happen over breakfast as to who our characters are and what they're like or something like that. That was my
Sure.
thought.
I like that plan.
Do you want to do
So why
that
don't you guys,
after we
while you're eating
level?
breakfast here, we can do it while we level. Maybe let's see. Well, let's start. Thought it'd also be fun to do leveling live so people can hear how it works and who
I
is
like
picking
that.
what. Because third level is kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
So for
that'd be
most
fun.
classes, you get to make kind of a cool choice at third level. So it might be kind of fun to share why you're making those choices. So who wants to go ahead and level up first?
Yeah, and then do a brief introduction of who you are, your name, your character, and all.
Yeah,
that.
do an introduction while you're doing it. So who wants to level first?
Pyric.
Any
I
volunteers?
do.
Pyric.
I do.
Pyrrhic's going to go first. Okay,
Yep.
why don't we have Pyric share his screen? We'll do that. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
boy.
we're gonna end sharing for there you go. Pyric, why don't you share your screen and we'll all watch together as you level your character. And you give us a little introduction to Pyric as well for those who maybe
You have a strange thing on your account.
Does
If
this
you want, we
work?
can see Joe's
Can you,
doggo.
can you see all my shenanigans?
There you go. Nice. So to level up, you go to the little cog in the corner there, the little gear. Click that. And then scroll down. Scroll down more. And then see where it says launch level character mancer. Click the second
one?
choice. Yep, that one there. All right. Welcome to leveling up. All right. So click the next button.
Start.
No, the neck in the lower right hand corner is the little next button. Then you click that. All right. So you're going to be level 3. So you get to go ahead and click your roll here to see what you're going to get for hit points. So go ahead and do that.
Ooh, very exciting.
Here we go.
What just happened?
Show to roll on my screen. How'd you do?
4.
I can't see it. Hang on. 4. That's not bad.
That's pretty
I'll
good.
take it on a D6. And then you're going to also get to pick. So go ahead. You get that now. And then go ahead and click the next button again.
Next button again.
All right. And now it's picking the School of Evocation, which I don't think you have a choice on right now, right?
Right. No, I did that last level.
You did that all day. So click next again. And then now you get to pick, I think you get some new spells now. Scroll down a little bit.
I'm scrolling down. Make this window larger if I can. No, to see
So
my
you get to
cat.
add 2 new spells.
Woo!
Ooh, 2 new spells.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Well, I think you have to find them normally, right? I don't think you normally get to pick them. But so you're already going to get them anyway. So to skip this step, because normally what we do, what I like to do, sometimes they'll let you pick them. But what I like to do is make you find them. So you have to add them. to the list.
I'm more about that. Let's find
But
it.
anyway, you already, but once you go ahead, you're going to write in, go ahead and pick Charm Person, though, because you're going to be writing that in anyway. So might as well get that done.
Yeah, normally then with the wizard Russ, he gets 2 new spells per level on top of whatever he finds. But
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, cool. So pick 2 new ones.
yeah,
So don't count Charm Person. Pick 2 new ones also.
Ooh.
You can add Charm Person. You can, well, it'll probably break it. So don't pick Charm Person. Pick 2 new ones. Pick 2 other ones.
But Seppi, we need to know how and why you suddenly just learned these new spells.
Yes. Give us your reasoning for why you would pick those.
I am going. Oh, tell me a little bit about the glass staff, and maybe that will inspire me.
Excellent. So the glass staff is actually a staff of defense. But it is also super cool glass. So I'm going to look it up for you here and share the screen with you. So it's a staff of defense. I'm going to show it to you right now so everybody can see it. It should, well, you can't see it. I'll read it to you because you're in the middle of Character Mancer. It's a slender hollow staff made of glass. It's strong as oak. It weighs 3 pounds. You must be attuned to the staff to gain its benefits. And you might know there's a limit to how many items you can be attuned to. I think it's 3 normally. So this is one of those 3 attunement slots. While you're holding the staff, you get a +1 armor class. So first of all, just by holding it, +1 AC.
Damn.
The staff also has 10 charges, which are used to fuel its spells. With the staff in your hand, you can use an action to cast one of the following spells that uses the staff's charges. So you can cast Mage Armor, which is 1 charge, or you can cast shield, 2 charges.
That's
And if you remember when you're fighting glass staff, remember I kept saying there's like this barrier appearing, but then you penetrate through the first one, and then a second barrier appears and you penetrate. He was trying to save his life through this, but you guys kept rolling like nat 20s. It was ridiculous. So basically you can cast mage armor for 1 charge. You can cast shield for 2 charges. No components are required, and it's got 10 charges, and it gets D6 plus 4 charges back at dawn.
Oh, nice.
But if you spend the last charge, then we got to roll a D20, and on a 1, it's destroyed. It shatters.
Oh.
So don't spend your last charge unless you're in grave danger.
Okay.
Right. All right. So that's what your spell does. So you might want to stay away from mage armor and shield because you got those built into your staff unless you want them as backups.
Well, it's also very interesting. I was going to take the Aurora Borealis, the color spray.
Yes.
But because I'm a scholar, I think identify is a must.
Like it.
And because I've never heard of this ice knife before, so I'm going to click on that and see what it does.
There you go. Druids can use ice knife too, yeah. You create a shard of ice. And you
that
fling it.
Seems thematically on board.
It goes with the power of the Nord.
It is another power of the Nord. It is the sharp wit of passive-aggressive nature that is the Nord.
So, Seppi, explain the power of the Nord for our new dwarf.
Oh, yeah, do an introduction.
Listeners. Yeah, do an introduction.
Who you are and your character.
Oh, so I'm Pyric, Starfinder. I am from the North Utalala Temple. I am a studier of things religious and arcane. My calling is to chronicle the formation of a new greater nation out of Neverwinter. I haven't found who that person is yet. I am interviewing a lot of short-lived human people because they seem to be very dynamic, and I really want this story to work in a sort of a captivating, short, concise 87 volumes.
Nice.
87 volumes.
All right, Seppi.
That's the goal.
Have you got all your spells? You got 2, so did you pick 2? You picked
or do I get a 2nd level spell now that I'm 3rd level?
I don't think
you can pick a 2nd level one.
Does he?
Yeah, he can pick 2nd. You can pick 2nd or 1st.
So you have to not pick
spells.
2 for. You only get 2 spells total, so you can remove one.
Oh, I'm going to get rid of Ice Knight then.
Yeah.
Me being a scholar first is more important.
All right.
And then I should pick something.
There's some cool stuffs in 2nd level. There's some neat stuff there.
What is this? Snowball Swarm.
Snowball Swarm. I like the name. Snicklicks. Although you might want to rebrand that from Snicklick to Snicklocks to the Nords.
Oh, yeah.
A fury of magic snowballs erupt from a point you choose within range. Each creature gets hit. That's the 3d6 cold damage on a failed save. That seems awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the power of the Nord indeed.
Yes, the power of the Nord. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Thematically perfect. So being from Minnesota, clearly Pyric knows what's up.
So I am a sage and wielder of the power of the Nord.
So then click next again there, Seppi. And there you go. You get your final review here. So you got some more spells. So the big deal for you was getting a new level, access to new levels of spells. You got more slots, and you got to pick a few new ones. So that's awesome. Click apply changes in the lower right-hand corner, and you're good to go.
Oh, that's
right,
really nifty.
And you got more core hit points as well. You should have got 4 more of those also. So
plus 2 because my constitution bonus. So yeah,
exactly.
I got 6 hit points. That's really good.
So you're in pretty good shape.
Oh, right. That's really super.
All right, who would like to be next? Seppi, you can go ahead and stop sharing your screen.
I'm stop sharing now. People tell me that all the time, Russ. I overshare.
Who's our next victim?
Ulrich is next.
Ulrich, okay.
Ready? So launch character.
Yep, share your screen there, Joe.
How do I do that?
On Zoom there should be a button near the bottom.
I zoom on a separate item. I have Zoom on a iPad.
It zooms on the phone.
Oh, it zooms on. That's okay. Boo, that's no fun. All right. Well, then we can we'll go through
Just
it.
walk it through it verbally.
Walk you through it verbally. So
I
Oh,
can do
wait.
that.
Introduce your name, your real life name, your character's name, and
All right. So my name's Joe. My character's name is Thalaric Dane Frostbeard. I am a paladin who is going the direction of a vengeance paladin because I killed people who were sleeping.
I thought it's you're bitter about your brother.
And I'm stuck with my brother. Not about him. I'm stuck with him. There's a difference. I like my
it's the other way around.
Yeah, I got 3 brothers and a sister. My sister's awesome. My brother's awesome. And then I got the one that changes into doesn't like meat except when he's eating bad guys, and he's changed to a bear. And that's it. I'm a paladin of Moradin, and that's pretty straightforward there. That's it, right? Anything else?
is it?
Go for it.
What is
So
the
creature-
character name? Ulrich? Because I have it written down wrong. Or Throlric.
Yeah. It's Ulrich Dane Frostbeard. Dane is an honorary title for paladins. I made it up. What can I tell you? It's my character. And so when I talked about my old Dane, that was the paladin I learned under. And
Okay.
so saying Dane is like what I call my IQ is just that above Forrest Gump. And so I've been somewhere calling people Your Grace because I can't remember Peric, or Little Sister because I can't remember Euphemia. So
Love
that's
it.
where I'm.
Do you want to share what your character's about, or you want that to come out through
Yeah,
playing?
no. My character, it'll come out, and I assume we've been together, and I'm not that smart, so I talk about it anyway. If you don't want me to. We are here to find the wave motion cannon. I think it's actually called the wave.
The wave motion.
And it's a forge.
What are you talking about?
That's how I remember it. It's a forge that the dwarves and other people had together that helped them forge. We got crystals out of it, and there was a forge that helped make magic items. The goblins came in and conquered the area, and we're here to take it back and try and capture
Wave Echo Cave, which does have the word wave in it, so I can
It's
see
a
that you got wave motion gun.
cavern.
But this is not Star Blazers, so
It's a wave motion cavern.
all right.
I like wave
Is
motion
it
cannon.
Ulrich with an A or Ulrich with the U?
I didn't have anything. What I put? ULRICK. Ulrich.
And you're a paladin of Tarsus? Taurus?
Moradin. Of Moradin.
Moradin.
Or it is.
Soul Forger, same god.
Full Forger. Same one. All right, so you should see my hit point roll. Here's my hit point roll.
All right.
So that's 4.
Excellent. Is that
And
below
then-
half? Wait, are you a D10?
D10.
Is there a button there that says take average? I think there is, right?
Yeah, so just take average.
Take
so
average, yeah. If you get below half, that's not fair.
That's 6. Okay.
There you go.
All right, and then Sacred
click-
Oath. I'm gonna pick.
So yeah, tell us why you're picking the Sacred Oath you're picking.
So hold on one second. Should I close my door?
Gotta go squish your dog. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So
Squish the demon.
yeah, so so I'm taking vengeance because I was going to do either devotion or vengeance, but vengeance is more fun, and it allows me to get away with doing things that aren't necessarily good, and plus it allows me to make it for my brother and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, one of the fun things in 5th edition is they kind of took the goody two-shoes part of the paladin, and that version still exists, but it depends on the oath you pick. So a vengeance paladin still follows a very strict code, but it's a code of revenge. So you can be a little darker as a paladin.
That's
Yeah.
awesome because it removes that problem of like, oh, I can't let him do that. I'm a paladin. Like,
Right,
Seppi wants to somewhat smack somebody around.
Yeah, in fact, in our family campaign, that became a big deal, and the fact that he was vengeance was awesome. He was literally allowed to murder his own party member, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, murder's a strong
His
word.
cousin, actually.
So that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, and then
When they betray you, they got to betray you first. That's the key.
Yeah. and then I can add 3 new spells, which I'm going to put on there. But I get the same thing. So that's everything for my character there. And I'm going the path of righteousness, and I would rather kill my enemy than let them live, and I don't turn the other cheek. And that's about it.
Awesome. So your character all leveled up there, Joe?
He is all leveled up.
Excellent. Who wants to be next?
Cowlick's next.
All right, Cowlick, can you share your
Race
screen?
in charge of the order.
Alex, good to go. Yeah.
All right. Share your screen so we can watch you do your leveling.
All right.
And introduce yourself and your character.
So Calyx from a Minotaur tribe of roaming, marauding, barbarian minstrels. And Calyx never felt like he achieved the barbarian portion of his tribe. He was just never fierce enough, which caused him to journey away from his family. And he's always had a hatred for bugbears.
That's cool.
Such a sneaky race of creatures. And so in his travels, he joined the Harpers in his quest to find allies, to find out what these sneaky bugbears were up to. Of course, that led him to Phandalin, where he was getting to the heart of a nest of bugbears when he got captured and put in a cage by the bugbears, waiting to let him do some cage fighting, which he might have enjoyed, learning this more fierce part of himself. So that's where he met Pyrrhic and Euphemia. So, yeah.
Okay, and what's your true name?
Karluk.
No, your real life name.
Oh, Dan.
AKA Doc.
Dan the Man, Doc. Yep. All right. Leveling up.
So yeah, click the cog and then click the second little hammer picture down there, the one that says launch character man. So not the level one, the one below it.
Oh, okay.
No rating quarter. Yep, there you go. Click the bottom one.
Sweet.
Question, Russ.
Yes.
How many spells am I allowed to have the red dot by?
That's how many you've got prepared. So you can prepare. I think John Wright, it says one for every.
It's your level plus your ability modifier. So in your case, it'd be your intelligence modifier plus your level.
6 is good. Keep 6 there, Doc.
Okay.
And then now you're choosing your Bard's College right now, Doc. So you can see there on the drop down. And for those watching at home, I have many of the expansions purchased. So you'll notice those initials next to the colleges. PHB is Player's Handbook, but we also got Xanthar's Guide to Everything in there, as well as, what is it, Mordecai's Tomb of Foes, I think it is. There's all kinds of crazy stuff in there. So there's many choices for you.
Yeah.
If you click one of those colleges, Dan, you'll see the right side of your screen. If you scroll down over there under where it says Bard, keep going. Eventually, it's going to list all the colleges, and you can read about them.
Okay.
And you can decide which college you want to do. But you'll notice, like, College of, there they are. So the College of Valor is all about combat. So I think if you scroll down a little more, they're in there somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, I see them right here. Yeah, College of
Yeah, there you go. You can click them to get more information. So you can see there's there's the different books they're from too. So I have all those books, so you have access to all those things.
Nice.
So if you want to do a little more reading, you can on them, but we can give you some basic overviews of those things. Do you know what kind of bard you want to be? Do you want to be all about combat? Do you want to be all about secrets? Do you want to be all about flash and sort of like glamour? Obviously, College of Glamour. Where are you feeling? Where are you feeling your muse taking you there?
My muse is telling me that Calyx, he's really wanting to, get more fierce like his tribe was. So it makes the College of Valor make a lot of sense for him.
Yeah, Valor or swords, maybe. I'm trying to remember the difference. Let me look. Let me check actually, I can look it up here.
Yeah, I've got a Xanathar's copy here.
Here it is. I got it right here.
I do have that sweet magic sword, too.
Are called blades. They enter the daring feats of weapon prowess. Blades, or they're called blades, as they're known by. Blades perform stunts such as sword swallowing, knife throwing, and juggling, and mock combats. Through their use of weapons to entertain, they are also highly trained and skilled warriors in their own right. Their talent with weapons inspires many blades to lead double lives. One blade might be a circus troupe as a cover for nefarious deeds or assassinations. Other blades, that would actually be good for your Harper thing because you'd be kind of an undercover. And they also get involved in secret activities and clandestine stuff. So the swords counts kind of flourishy as well as sneaky. And then you're saying you're interested in Valor also?
Yeah. I like the swords one. Seems really, really neat. It's got a lot of neat stuff going in there. But it does.
So it's up to you. Whichever you think fits more what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm thinking he's channeling his sort of inner warrior. So Valor, I think, makes some sense.
So you want to do Valor over swords? That sounds good. Yeah. All right. So click next then. And then now you get to pick your expertise. So you get to pick your another skill here. So 2 more skills. So you're just becoming more adept. Why are you picking these?
Dan?
Let everybody know why you're picking insight and perception.
Dan, is there one? Is there a rug subclass?
Rug.
And the reason is you spend a lot of time on the floor, and I thought that would be a good use of your.
Oh, Purik.
So the reason you're getting all these proficiencies, Dan, is because you chose College of Valor, and Valor gives you even more proficiencies. So you're even better with Valor. You're proficient with like many, many weapons.
Yeah, so I can choose acrobatics, insight, perception, performance, persuasion.
So that's why you're getting to pick all these abilities right here.
Yeah, I want to be on the watch for trouble because I'm always think that there's some kind of sneaky deception being had by bugbears or other.
That's the only way you're going to find a bugbear is by being really perceptive. So that makes sense.
Yep. All right.
And then next again. And then I think you're in pretty good shape. I think that's the end of. I don't think you get any new spells yet. Oh, there you go. You get to add one new. It looks like one new spell. If you scroll back up, I think it showed you that. And I think you also get a level 2 spell now.
Oh, okay. Let me see. You can add one new spell. So a level 2 then basically.
It can be level 1 or level 2, but I would take level 2. They're just cooler. Everybody knows that. That's why they're level 2. And why are you picking what you're picking there? What's calling to you?
Yeah. Again, I mean, he's always trying to, find these, mysteries and deceptions of his enemies.
So if you're trying to figure out deception, Zone of Truth is both good for that and hilarious in any role-playing setting.
See invisibility would be kind of interesting.
Well, invisibility is really good too. Yeah, see invisibility would be huge. You can also become invisible, which is also. But I don't know if you're personally a sneaky type, more of a discovering sneaky people. So it's up to you. You pick what you want.
Detect thoughts.
Oh, that seems like a good one too. Yeah, some tough ones in here. Good stuff.
All right, I'm going to go with detect thoughts.
All right, seems good. All right, Dan, excellent. I think you're good. Click apply changes, and you're ready to rock.
Jeez, that is just awesome. I've used Fantasy Grounds before. This trounces Fantasy Grounds.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I think Fantasy Grounds is powerful, but it's a little too confusing,
A little too confusing, yeah.
All right, excellent. Plus, I love how you can just, as the DM, you can buy all the materials, and then you can share it with all your players. So you guys had access to all that stuff. Awesome. All right. So we've done Joe, we've done Seppi, we've done Dan. Rafe and John are next. Who wants to go next?
Euphemia picks her new friend Thrall.
All right, Johnny, share your screen. So, John, I'm going to play your deal minimum damage card to force you to get minimum hit points. Just kidding. I'm not doing that.
Are you guys seeing that or no?
We are. Yes. Good job. I can see your window.
All right. So is it the cog next to spells?
Yeah, that's the one. Click that little guy.
And who are you and who do you play?
Oh, my name's John. I have the fortunate role of being Russ's brother in real life and Joe's brother in this game.
Yes.
And I am playing Thralric Frostbeard, who is also brother to Aldric, the missing Aldric, and cousin to the missing Gundren. I came along, and I'm playing a dwarven. We're known as Zakai, which is dwarven for earthborn, or it can be translated to Stoneforge, or it can be translated to dwarf that wanders the mountains endlessly.
That's awesome.
So basically, I'm a dwarven druid, kind of the black sheep of the family, because they're all into Moradin and being all religious and smithing and doing all that stuff. And I'm more into just saving the world and the mountains in general. And so the reason I came along is our family does have a claim to this mine, the Wave Echo mine. But within the Wave Echo mine, as I don't know if it was mentioned, but we actually found this out when we were in the manor, that the Black Spider is after the Forge of Spells. The Forge of Spells was a forge that was created to use the ores and such that came out of the mine, is my understanding, and they could make insane magic items with them, and so that cannot fall into the hands of any nefarious groups. It doesn't matter to me who they are, but it can't fall into their hands because otherwise things will go bad. So that is the reason that I have come along with my least favorite of my siblings to make sure this does not happen.
All right. Nice summary,
That's
John.
me in a
So go ahead and click your little.
So, unlike some of the other classes, druids kind of start their focus at second level. So I picked Circle of the Moon at second level, which is leans more towards the shape-shifting class or the shape-shifting ability of a druid, and less towards the spells.
Interesting.
And so I'm already a Circle of the Moon. So this level, where does it say? Where's the level thing?
Here's what you do, John. See the little symbols on the bottom of your screen?
The second hand down.
Oh yeah, the
second
hammer.
button, not the first one, the second one. There you go.
The
Click
second
that.
one. All right.
Yep. And then click the next
Next.
button. Yep, there you go. And now, first thing you're going to do is click roll for your hit points. And you got 5 on an D8. That's pretty good.
All right.
So there you go.
Do I have to accept that, or is it just?
No, you just scroll down to the bottom and click next. If you keep going down, you'll see there's a next button below. If you keep scrolling down, there you go. Click the next button down there.
Another next button.
Yeah, because there's no features to do because you're already.
Okay.
And then I think you get to add. Do you get to add any new spells?
So I don't add spells.
Oh, that's right. You just pick
I
the
add
ones you want.
slots because the way mine works is, but I gain an extra preparation.
There you go.
As well. But I will.
Explain that thought all the way through, John.
So what happens with druids? They're much like clerics. You get your full list of spells available to you, but you can and you don't have to find them like wizards or pick them like bards and sorcerers and warlocks. But you still have the preparation thing. So I have to prepare the ones that I want each day. So I gained 2 new second level slots. I think it was 2.
Or you're only one.
It was one second level slot.
Yep.
And I gained because I went up a level, I can prepare 1 more spell as well. But I can change. I mean, when you prepare stuff, you can change it after each long rest. You can change what your loadout is for your spells.
And do you have one that you can default to?
I'm going to pick Bark Skin as the spell I'm going to prepare because basically it hardens my skin like a tree, and it lasts for an hour. It's concentration spell though, so I can lose it, and it makes my minimum armor class 16, and I can keep it when I transfer over to a bear until I lose it.
Oh, that's cool. But do you have that ability that clerics have? I don't know if it's in 5e, where you can always cast Cure Light Wounds. You can take any of your spell slots, or do you not get something like that?
No, I have to prepare a spell to do it.
Okay.
So I would, which I did, but I don't. Yeah, I can't always cast it.
But you have cantrips, right? Which are always available.
Yeah,
I do have cantrips I can always cast. Yeah.
So cantrips are always available, Rafe, and they never run out. So they're kind of like just always a casted ability.
But of those spell slots he has, if he has memorized healing word, I see up there, he can always use one of those slots to cast healing word. I'm like him. I have spell slots. I have 3 spells I can cast. I can then choose between the spells that I have prepared, so that I have Cure Wounds, Shield of Faith, and Bless. I can always make one of those spells Cure Light Wounds.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
So he's always got that available in dwarf form. When he's in bear form, he can't cast the spells unless he's healing himself.
Yeah.
So John is
All right. So that should be done, Russ. So I hit next now.
Yep. And you hit next when you're done with that. I see you picked up Healing Spirit too. Nice. All right.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool too.
And you're good. Click apply changes, and you are all set. Excellent.
All right.
One more to go. Euphemia. John, you can
All
stop
right.
sharing your
Stop
screen
sharing.
now, and we'll go back to Rafe. Why don't you share your screen?
I am sharing my screen, and I'm pulling up my character. All right. And so my name is Rafe. I play the halfling rogue, Euphemia Lightfoot. She's a young halfling. She's only forget what it is in halfling years. She might be like 35, but that would like equal like 19 in our day and age. And I'm trying to work on something where I like how the game made the changes to rogue versus thief, because I've always liked to play my thieves as rogues. And so rogues, you want to think of the stereotypical is like Han Solo, where might have some roguish, rockish like characteristics, but deep down he's a good guy. So that's how I like to play my rogues. Like she's not interested in stealing for money or hiding things from her group. As a matter of fact, that's I'm going to let this come out through role play, but that's in the area of her kind of one of her main driving forces is she has no interest in hiding or stealing anything from the group. She's very group centered. So let's see. Clicking the cog. All right, what do? I scroll down, click the second hammer
one. There you go.
Thingy.
And then wait for a second and click next.
Next.
And now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click that roll button there to see what you get for hit points. And you got a 1, so you can take the average. Just click average, and you'll get the 5.
I will take the average.
All right. And now you get to choose your archetype.
Oh, okay. I get to.
And again, because I have all the supplements, you have several choices for archetypes.
This is awesome, by the way. This is where you really get to define your rogue.
So to walk us through what you want to be, Rafe, and maybe we can help you pick the one you want.
All right. So this is interesting because I was looking at my 3rd level ability, and I was really torn. So I like to role play, but this has been the most role playing aspect of a game I've ever been in. Usually it's more combat focused. So I think I'm interested to pick something that'll fit my role playing idea. I do not envision her as an arcane trickster. I do not envision her as an assassin.
That's not how you play her.
Sweet assassin.
As assassin?
The accidental assassin. I love it.
That'd be interesting if it was like the accidental assassin.
Oops, I did it again.
Game mechanic wise, assassin rocks.
Yeah, that could be interesting to be more like an accidental assassin. I'll take you up on that. I do see her as inquisitive. I don't see her as a mastermind. I don't see her as a scout. I don't see her as a swashbuckler. And I don't see her as a thief. So it's between assassin and inquisitive. So you say assassin. I used to play assassin way back in the day.
You guys know what inquisitive does?
No, what's that do?
Let me look it up.
Does it mean sneak up to the door and then just walk through it after you've done all of the habit?
I think inquisitive.
It could be a good role-playing one because you excel at rooting out secrets and unraveling mysteries. You rely on your sharp eye for detail, but your finely honed ability to read the words and deeds of other creatures to determine their true intent. You excel at finding creatures that hide among you and your prey and prey upon all ordinary folk. And you mastery of lore and your keen deductions make you well equipped to expose and end hidden evils. So. And then you get these abilities at different levels. So at 3rd level, you pick up ear for deceit, eye for detail, and insightful fighting. So ear for deceit, you get a talent for picking out lies. Whenever you make a wisdom insight check to determine whether a creature is lying, treat a roll as 7 or lower as an 8. So you always get an 8 or better on a lie detection.
Are you going to double down on what Dan did?
What's that?
Didn't Dan pick like the bubble of truth?
Yeah, he did.
Right.
Oh, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't. No, he didn't.
So
you get eye for detail. So as a bonus action, you can make a wisdom perception check to spot a hidden creature or object, or make an intelligence check, investigation, to uncover runes. And then you have insightful fighting. This could be interesting. You gain the ability to decipher an opponent's tactics and develop a counter to his tactics. As a bonus action, you can make a wisdom insight check against a creature that you can see that isn't incapacitated. It's contested against the target's deception check. And if you succeed, you can use your sneak attack against the target, even if you don't have advantage on an attack roll.
That could be good.
Wow. So you can basically sneak attack even when you can't normally sneak attack if you can outsmart him. So
I do like that.
Maybe get more of these things at higher levels, but I don't know if you may like assassin better.
Tell me, the problem I always have with assassin is how is it not that I'm just a black-hearted evil person that runs around assassinating people?
That's how you've been role-playing it, Euphemia.
That's not true. She's just a death-dealing machine.
What's the little girl's name from Kick-Ass? That's you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a thing.
So here's the fluff. You focus your training on the grim art of death. Those who adhere to this archetype are diverse in hired killers, spies, bounty hunters, and even specially anointed priests trained to exterminate the enemies of their deity. Stealing, poison, disguise help you eliminate your foes with deadly efficiency. So you have been training like most of your life to kill under this one, or you will be. So there's a pretty big difference between the two in terms of fluff. So I would, if you've been thinking you want to role play,
what was your time with the red brand like? Now this revelation has come forward. But you could be bitter.
You could be bitter over the red band thing.
Could be.
But it's up to you. It's your call, man.
Going inquisitive.
All
What's your wisdom?
Oh, my wisdom's terrible.
Perfect. What are you gonna do? All right. Click next. So those are the abilities.
Scroll up. I want to see how bad your wisdom is.
So these will be on your character sheet now. The ear for deceit, the eye for detail, and insightful fighting. I think insightful fighting could be huge. And the big thing is, even if your wisdom's not awesome, their deceit has to be high as well. So if their deception's not great, you'll get that.
I shouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not a charisma or a dex.
It's not. Yeah, it could be better.
Is there a charisma based rogue one?
I don't know if Assassin's charisma based. Honestly,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It doesn't sound. It's probably more dex based. Go to next.
No, actually, back up. Let's look at the list again.
Drop it down.
Trickster is definitely.
Tricksters, but that's spells. That's
spells casting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's no good. Scout.
I mean, thief might be, swashbuckler might be
mastermind to try to like convince people of stuff. But all right, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go.
Go with your gut.
I like the fluff of it, Rafe. I do like.
I'm gonna go inquisitive.
All right, and then click next again. So you're gonna pick up all those abilities. So you'll have those, and there you go.
Plus,
also,
I can.
Your sneak attack damage went up to 2d6.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I can go after. Karlik and I can have some pretty good combos.
Yeah. I think the fluff too of like figuring out someone's tactics and using it against them, that could be fun role play.
Yeah, that'll be fun to role play.
I'll give you, if you can role play up how you're watching it and stuff, I'll throw an advantage now and again on that.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
Sold.
All right. Are we all good? Is that everybody? Everybody leveled up?
We're all good.
All right. Awesome. So you guys are having your nice long rest. You can feel your bodies rejuvenating, as well as you just feel like you're just better at what you do. You just feel like a little better today than you were the day before. You're starting to sort of stir. So the dwarves are in the barn, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to show this map over here for everybody who didn't see it last time. So this map here, this is the Adderley farm here. And I know I got some extra tiles on here because there was a little party going last time. But you can see there's a little outer barn down there in the bottom of the map. If Rafe scrolls down, you guys can scroll down and see it. That's where the dwarves are sleeping. And you guys in the main house, you can smell some great smelling cooking. The barn's way down, by the way. You keep going down. Yeah, it's down by the garden down there. You can smell some great smelling cooking. But you guys in the barn, you're not woken up to the smell of cooking. You're woken up to the sound of voices on the road. Because if you scroll down here, you can see there is this road that goes past the barn and down towards the main house.
Which one of those is the barn? They don't look like barns.
Well, it's kind of a barn. It's their outer house. It's got a good place for sleeping on it, though.
Russ?
Yes?
I am going to have to turn in Lord Albrecht to the authorities and let him know he took human, dwarf, and minotaur captives and then burn his manor house down.
Yes.
Lord Hallwinter in particular would care about this, as will the cleric of Moradin, who stayed in the inn, I assume, overnight.
So if you guys zoom out on this map so you can see the whole thing at once here, so you don't need to be close for now. I'm going to ping down here. So I'm going to try to ping. It's not letting me ping. Hang on a second. So where I just pinged, that's where, so the dwarves are in this building here. And it's got a table in it, but it's also barn-like. It's just the wrong drawing. And then outside dwarves, you're hearing the sound of sounds like a group of people sort of talking loudly and excitedly. and you can hear the sounds of walking, and they're so noisy, because it is the afternoon, really. It's like 1 PM right now. They woke you up, from your normal. You got your full rest in.
We did finish our rest. Can I go?
Yeah, your rest is finished. Meanwhile, the rest of the party is waking up in the main house. You're just waking up to the smell of cooking. You don't really hear the noises yet.
Can I move up and see who it is through the door?
Yeah. So you look out the window, and you see a group of people. You see, it looks like 4, 5, 6 folks or so, plus a few other folks, walking down the street, talking. Make a perception check there, John. Nice. You recognize immediately that 3 of the people, there's a woman and 2 teenage girls. These are the same people you rescued, you released from the prison and got out. They seem to be talking very animatedly, mostly the daughters, but the mom, the one younger daughter is kind of being that young, snotty teenager a little bit and kind of not saying so much, but the older daughter is kind of talking very animatedly to the 3 other individuals, one of whom 2 of whom, one looks like a female elf, pretty well dressed, a male, like half elf, pretty well dressed with that perception check, and a human who's also pretty well dressed, all of them walking hurriedly together. And with that perception roll, you're also feeling like they're starting to kind of veer off the road a little bit and head right towards the main farmhouse.
I'm going to grab my shield and hammer and stroll out of the barn, follow after him.
So as you stroll out of the barn, you see this scene before you also, Joe. And they're
I'll follow Ulrich after them.
Memory question, Russ.
Yep.
What did we do with the bodies of the red brands?
I believe you cleaned them all up and disposed of them. They're not here right now.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Disposed of them.
Yes. I believe Sildar did something with them. I think he took them and burnt them.
Okay. To a bear.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are going to kind of follow them up to the main house.
Yeah.
So as you hear, as you guys are, the 2 dwarves are following this group of people. You guys in the house. Suddenly, Carp says, "Auntie, I think we have some visitors." And he's looking out the window. And sure enough, as you guys glance towards the windows, you see this group of people I just described to John, sort of walking now up the path to the house. So they're about here now. And as you glance around, also, you can see the dwarves are not that far behind them. And the people seem so focused on getting to the farmhouse that they don't seem to have noticed the 2 dwarves sort of walking behind them. It's not that the dwarves are being particularly stealthy or anything. It's just the people are so having such an animated discussion, they haven't really bothered to be even really very self-aware of what's going on around them. And they seem to be heading right towards the main house door.
Okay.
Are you guys just going to keep enjoying breakfast? They walk up? Anybody do anything?
Yeah, I figure we don't. Those of us in the house don't see him or anything yet, right?
All right. No, you do, because you looked out the window when Carp said, "Look, there's guests coming," and you guys could all see out the window that they're coming up the walk.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Auntie's got some pretty big plates going on with some breakfast biscuits, some rashers, which are fancy Irish Hobbit version of bacon. She's also got some nice looking eggs there, various seasonings, more cobblers out. This time she's gone to peach, apparently. And pretty good spread. So it's going to take a willpower check to ignore the food, but you can if you want to. Go ahead.
Euphemia will go. She'll go to the door, and she'll open the door and say, "Well, hello, guests. What brings you here?"
And a couple of them are like, they all sort of look at you, and they start to gather around. And I'm going to change scenes here for us to make this a little easier. So I'm going to flip us over to here. And now you should see an outside shot of the main farmhouse here, of Auntie's home.
Nice.
And that roof should have gone up quick with the fire. Huh?
Oh, scorch marks.
Oh, they worked hard. Yeah, there are some scorch marks in the corner, but thanks to the power of the Nord, the roof was in fact saved.
Yes.
So so you see several people approaching the house, and I'm making their images available now.
Ooh.
So there are the woman and her 2 daughters at the bottom of the picture there. Those 3 people, the human woman and her 2 daughters. those are the people indeed that you did free from the prison that the dwarves hung out with actually for a little while. And then the 3 other people that are with them there, and if you can zoom in a little bit if you want to see the pictures better, you'll see there that there is a female elf and a male half elf, and then this balding human there as well.
I'm going to look at them for their heraldry, if they're presenting badges of station or houses.
Oh, good one. Make a history check.
Got a check I want to do too after that, Russ.
History check, doing it. Yeah, crushed it. 15.
15. You do recognize that there's a couple different pieces of heraldry going on there. You recognize that the balding human is wearing the symbols of Phandalin on him, and he has some of the markings of a town leader.
Oh, the mayor.
The older half-elf, gray-haired male, the middle picture there, he actually bears a symbol. It's subtle. It's actually partly under his cloak, but you're pretty sure from the shape of it and the colors, it's the Order of the Gauntlet. Now, the Order of the Gauntlet is a pretty well-known organization on the Sword Coast that's primarily made up of paladins and clerics who are generally considered some of the most noble heroes of the Sword Coast. And then you're not so sure with a 15 what the markings are on the female elf, but she seems to have some kind of religious order markings on her, but you're not really sure.
Well, that's a lot to take in at a glance.
It is. You did pretty well there, though, with 15.
All right.
But 2 of the symbols are pretty common, right? The symbol of Mandolin and the Order of the Gauntlet. Pretty.
I'd stand up immediately and excuse myself, wiping my butt. Oh, your mayorship. We were about to find you.
You got a little cobbler on your chin there. You got a little cobbler.
Oh,
right.
Other side. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, you gotta forgive me. We were gonna come find you, your mayorship. Things have been happening here and up in the manor house.
He says, he leans forward and he says, Harbin Wester. And he puts his hand out. I just made his name visible too, so you guys can make it easier to remember. Again, Ray, if you can zoom in a little more, if you want to make it easier to read this stuff. He says, are the ladies here? And he points to, is the Dendaras here? They tell me that you're responsible for that. And he points up to the top of the hill where you see this little plume of smoke sort of gently rifting up still. No sign of fire anymore. It's been a few hours, but there's still definitely some plumes of just a smoldering embers coming from the top of the hill.
Thank you for bringing these ladies to us. We were besides ourselves worrying if they had gotten away. They had asked if they needed to leave, and I argued that they needed to stay safe, but it's good that they left and got out of that place before Lord Albrecht set the whole place afire with his, need to hoard combustible materials.
All right. Is anybody else going to say anything while
yes,
Pyrrhus going on there?
Euphemia is going to use her newfound skill and do an investigation check. And it sounds like she thinks they know what they're up to, but she specifically wants to see if there's clues for, are they coming to congratulate us for saving the 3 women or throw us in jail for burning down the manor?
Oh, I like that, Rafe. That's pretty good. Take a point of inspiration. We've been thinking to check that.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and make your...
let's see. It's an intelligence check, it says.
It seems like your newfound skills would be very valuable for this situation.
Which I'm actually trained in. Oh, let me switch chats here. So it's a 20 total.
Ooh, okay.
What do you call that? A rough 20? What do you guys call that?
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, John coined that term.
Dirty 20.
So...
Well, I didn't. I stole it, so we might want to use our own term.
Oh, no. Did you steal it from another podcast?
That might have happened.
All right. We'll call that
it's a synthetic 20.
Okay, you're right. Adjusted 20?
That's good.
We're going to work on that.
Not so fresh 20?
What?
A synthetic 20.
Never mind.
Yeah, synth 20.
Filthy 20.
All right. Dr. 20. So you get the feeling, judging from everybody's demeanor and body language, that they're generally, it feels like they're in pretty good spirits, but trying to look serious and important. You also feel like there's a little bit of like jostling for importance happening. So they're trying to look sophisticated, but they also seem like there's an underlying excitement. Like they're kind of excited to be able to be there talking to you. Like you might have would you roll a 22, you said? Or dirty 20?
20. Dirty 20.
You might have a negotiating edge here.
Oh, Mayor Harbin, now with these three women, those two dwarves that I passed behind him, and this barbarian, we saved 6 people, as well as yesterday we brought the stolen goods back to your village.
Yes, and I do appreciate that. It was a shame to see what happened to your friends when they got back to the tavern in the center of town, and that bulk of red brands attacked them. I was ashamed to hear that.
What?
But otherwise, I'm glad to hear.
What happened to them?
You didn't hear?
No.
Oh, I was. Yes, they got to the tavern and they were getting room and board and kind of settling in and asking about for more information about the Wave Echo Caves or something, or Cragmaw Castle and other such things. And some of the red brands came down upon them, and before we knew it, they were gone.
Oh no!
Gone? Like off this mortal coil, gone? Or
no, there was no sign of them anymore. I don't know if they were killed, they were they were captive, or what.
The red brands tried to burn the elderly farm down last night too. They have a lot of people.
And the manor house.
Did they burn the manor house?
Well, they helped burn the manor house.
Aye, a man of words, but no deeds, like a garden full of weeds. We might have had some accidentally taken a hand in that.
Oh, you weren't there. You don't know. That's by design. Don't say things you don't know, Mr. Paladin.
So Harbin, who's been taking the lead for a while, the male gentleman, half elf, he steps forward and says, Harbin, you were sharing much, which is good, but I must share my congratulations for these brave souls who have rid us of a great problem in our town. And he says, Darn Edmath, pleasure to meet all of you. I have heard that was indeed from these ladies here. You rescued them from the red brands, what apparently their hideout under the manor up there. Have you rid them of that entire area? It seems like it's burnt to the ground. Have you destroyed their lair and their leader?
Well, Lord Albrecht was leading them. We have this note from the spider.
Who?
Oh yeah, the spider. And I'm like, Euphemia, show him the note.
I reach inside my breast pocket and pull out the note.
Darren takes it and looks at it, and he says, "This looks interesting. I do know that Sildar was looking for this man that's mentioned in this note."
Yeah, maybe that's where they went off to.
Now Sildar is missing.
Well, the man's not missing. He's in the barn.
Is he?
Or actually outside
Perhaps
of
we
the
can
barn.
question him. Great taking him alive.
That will be hard.
Oh.
Unless you have the right spells.
He didn't really survive the transport. We subdued him, but then in the hustle to escape the burning, collapsing inferno, he sort of didn't make it.
I have a question for you, Mayor and Darren Edmath. I am new to these type of especially mankind civilizations. But do you always let these creatures, such as these red brands, run your town? I'm a little confused as to what you do here.
Oh, see, he's not really civilized. He says words. He doesn't actually know what he's saying, Mayor. It's like what a
Quite
dog
sure
says
I know what I'm
barks.
saying.
You know, you've heard that dog go, "Aroo." You know, that's just like the druid. Don't worry about him. His brother is more articulate and understands that people have duties and obligations to civilization.
True, Your Grace. True it is. You speak
Harbin
as
looks a little offended by that. But he looks a little offended and taken back and says, "We have many troubles in our town, and but I am glad to see that you were able to help us rid of one. And I know you have your own duties and your own concerns, but there are other issues that perhaps those of your skill level could help me out with as well."
Oh,
And
absolutely.
Darren's looking at him a little sconce,
Don't we have to settle up on the civic duty that we already just did? I think these ladies and these dwarves and this Minotaur all are owed reparations for the situation that was allowed to fester here in Valandir.
Aye, routing out the red brands is road enough for me.
Okay, -1. You got 5 others.
Well, Harbin says, "Well, I didn't actually hire you to take care of the red brands. I mean, I'm glad you did take care of the red brands. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's good that they're getting rid of, but again, I don't know. Did you get them all? Because there was another group that, took Sildar and that dwarf.
So you're going to hire
and
us
that
to
human
go
fighter
track
guy.
that group down.
Well, no, I had a different problem I would like your help with, but tell you what, we have this, since you were able to so easily deal with the red brands, I have this other issue. So we have, I need some help east on the Tribor Trail. By the way, the Tribor Trail is where you guys came in on. There's a place called Weavern Tor, and we've kind of got a lot of orcs there. And it's been messing with travelers. I mean, you already saved our carts, which is fantastic. And you did take care of, looks like, a core part of the red brands, which, again, really appreciate.
Okay, so
now the ladies here tell me there was lots of good treasure in there. So any treasure you found in there, not the property of the towns. We are not asking for any of that. Whatever you found there, all yours. I'm sure you did quite well for yourselves. All I'm saying is, if you could also take care of these orcs for me, there'd be another 100 gold in it. So if you will deal,
so you owe us 100 gold. Harbin.
If you would deal with these orcs, I'll throw 100 gold in there. Normally there'd be an interview process. I'd really want to understand if you could handle this. It's a lot of money, but given your credentials, given what just happened up there, and he points to smoke, I'm sure, I'd be more than happy to. And then Darren walks up and says, Harbin, these people, they rescue these women with no thought of thanks. These are not common mercenaries. They're not here to make coin. They're here to do good and help, as all members of the Order of the Gauntlet, and he pounds his chest, would do. He says, yes, I would hope they would help you with the orcs, but that is but a small problem compared to this other problem that they really need to look into. Just the other night, I heard the story of the trouble at the Old Owl Well. Prospectors are up there in the hills digging for more gold because there's plenty of great mining around here on Phandalin. They're up digging up in the ruins there at the Old Owl Well, but disturbingly, several prospectors were reported being chased by undead. I would beseech you of such great skill to go check out the Old Owl Well and see what form of undead problems are there. It would be a great benefit to our town, our people, and you would have our gratitude.
Bears have been busy in this area.
Well, gratitude is fine, but
clearly these are noble. You are noble people. I know you're not here for the money.
Oh, absolutely not for the money. Maybe for the glory and the real estate, though.
Which one of these problems of yours is closest to Thunder Tree?
And then Auntie calls from the back room, and Auntie's like, "Oh yes, Thunder Tree. Don't forget to go there. That'll be definitely. They'll know where Cragmar Castle is. And Harbin, why don't you just tell them that's where they take everyone they capture is Cragmar Castle. I'm sure if their friends got taken away, certainly that's where they're going to be." And so, Rafe, if you scroll down, you can now see that Auntie's been added to the list of people that are talking as well. So, John, you asked how far away things were?
Which one of these problems is closest to Thunder Tree? Or are they all in different directions?
They're all in a bit of different directions, but the well says the member of the Order of the Gauntlet. He says the well is on the way to Thunder Tree more than any of the other things so far.
Undead it is then.
And then the female elf, she chimes in, and she says, "Excuse me, good sirs. I know that these gentlemen are really bringing up fine issues they could use help with, and I do think that they're obviously you want some coin. I get that, and of course, dealing with undead is of course a very noble cause. My name is Sister Gorella, and if I may be so bold, when I heard what you had done with those red brands and at the manor, I just knew that you might be able to help with some of the problem that my sisters and I have run into. I have a very delicate issue that I think only someone of your skill, and since you so readily thought the undead was something you could handle, I wonder, we have an issue with a banshee, a little problem, and we need someone who's really good at negotiations to kind of help us with this banshee situation. She has information about spells, and if you would undertake this with me, my order would be more than happy to gift you with some potions of healing and maybe even some of the spells that we might be able to acquire from this negotiation. If you'd be willing to take it on, we're just so impressed with your skills and capabilities. Would you be interested in doing that with us?
How can one place have so many problems?
I don't know. Ladies normally don't interest me, but I'm going to ask the fine human women that, Mrs., you all got out safe. You came here. That's great. Are you poor now? Do you live in town? Where did the Red Brands take you?
And she says, "Oh, no, I'm here only because I was so thankful to all of you." And she looks at her daughters, and so are my daughters. And the youngest daughter says, "I'm just here for the pipe weed." Auntie, I hear that's what this halfling calls you. Do you have any pipe weed? Carp, you in there? You got any pipe weed? And just shh, Nars. And her mother says, I was only I was just sharing the news with these fine peoples and some of these leaders in our town of what a wonderful job you've all had done in saving us. And I just wanted to share the news. Also, I was a little concerned about the fire might spread, so I wanted to let them know, but they assured me that wasn't a problem. And they asked us to come along. Because, they wanted maybe me to help with introductions. So we're here, but also we kind of wanted to see you again because we're so thankful what you did for us. So thank you so much. And I just wanted to remind you too about our heirloom. You, Sir Dwarf over there, you mentioned again you're thinking of going back to Thunder Tree. Don't forget the heirloom is there in that old shop, and if you get in there, you'll be able to get something value. And it's just my way of saying thank you. So I really appreciate it. But I'm not here. I don't have any of my own troubles. I'm just saying thank you for helping us. We really appreciate it.
Shiny.
Okay. So, dwarves, did you get all your possessions back from the Burning Inferno? Are you missing anything?
I'm fine.
The only thing I'm looking forward to is if there's anything in this town that could be forged into better armor like Splint, or maybe some more throwing axes.
Okay, I'll put that on the list. I jotted down. Cowlick, you suffered the worst against these red brands. Did you get all the things back that you were owed from them?
Pierick, are you trying to create like a list so that we can get a lot of money from these guys, some gold?
No, I'm making sure fair is fair. We solved the town's problems. Now the town has to solve our problems. That's just fair, right, everybody? And I nod. Do you guys nod with me?
How can I argue with one with someone so wise as our Grace the Elf here?
Oh, that's very nice of you to say. Cowlick, stuff? Missing? No?
I'm just, eggs are spilling out of my mouth, and I'm just slurping down the coffee as everyone else is talking.
Okay. So our friends have gone missing, and in particular, the butcher wanted a statue of himself erected somewhere in the town. Lord Hallwinter, he had a family connection to the manor house, which is now burned down. You seem to have a multitude of problems. Darren, what's your title with the Order of the Gauntlet?
Well, I am first seeker.
First seeker. Okay, seeker, Darren.
So you just seek out the problems. You don't actually do anything to them to take care of them. Or is it that you seek out people to take care of the problems?
He looks a little bit offended.
Good.
But he says a bit of both.
Okay. Well, we are definitely going to go get our friends back from Cragmaw because Auntie says that's where they are. That's where we're going. Everybody agrees, right?
Yes, this whole place will have a much bigger problem if that is not handled now. And
that's a very fancy yes. And so you think that the old owl well is on the way to Thunder Tree, which is on the way to Cragmaw.
But we have to go to Thunder Tree to find Cragmaw.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
So
I'm sorry. Hold on. Is that food still ready? I'm going to eat some of that.
yeah, go help
It is still
yourself.
piping hot, and Carp and Auntie are both keeping it flowing.
Okay, then.
I'm going to go
So
sit there.
after we locate the place of Cragmaw, we might end up dealing with orcs, or we might end up consorting with banshees. It might happen. Do you have a map of the region that we could use to mark these things down?
That's the wisest thing you've said so far.
Harbin says, I can get you a map from our shop, and Darren says I'll mark it for you with everyone's the locations everyone's mentioned.
And now, since these things need to be done quickly, you're going to furnish us with mounts.
Modesty. Oh, what mounts are we talking about?
Pyric, make a persuasion check.
Oh, this is the kind of thing I lean on Euphemia for. And I lean on Euphemia. Get them explain it to them. I got to go finish eating. And I turn around.
Euphemia says to them first, she says, well, you must all be hungry and thirsty. Oh, hold on. And she runs in and she grabs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plates of the peach crumble, and comes out and just takes several trips and gets some cups of coffee. And then she also takes a little pouch of pipeweed and hands that to Nars with a wink and says, I'm sure you'd, as Pyric, the very wise wizard, has said, I'm sure you'd want us to do this very expeditiously. And so if we could have 3 ponies, a draft horse, and a horse, that would aid us in our goals to achieve for you all.
And saddles.
With tact. All right. How'd you do?
10.
Roll 2. Hang on. You get advantage, Rafe. You get advantage because you did such a good job with plying them with food. So take advantage.
Oof.
How'd you
Think
do?
again, I guess.
Well, how'd you do? He only got a 3. What'd you get?
It didn't show. Hold on.
10. Your 10 is better than
Your 10.
7.
Your 10's better than a 3. So he says, that's not a cheap ask, but he kind of starts taking a second mouthful of cobbler. This is really good cobbler. All right, if it'll get this stuff done and take care of those orcs, you got to guarantee you're going to take care of those orcs for me, and then done. And I'll still pay you the 100 gold.
Is that 100 gold each?
That's crazy. Talk. I
After
don't know that
we
kind of money.
rescue our friends, we'll do it on the comebacksies. Is that okay?
Only 100 gold total.
Plus horses and saddles.
Plus horses. The horses are worth more than 100 gold.
Yeah, the horses are worth way more than
We get to keep the horses.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
wasn't
horses
planning
are
on that.
ours.
You can. He says, "Yeah, I tell you what. I'll let you keep the horses. I'll still throw in the 100 gold. You drive a hard bargain, but this is some good cobbler."
Yes.
Oh, do you have a shop? I need to do some writing down of things in my spell book. You're going to cover the cost of any transcribing too, correct?
I don't really have a relationship with the.
That sounds like a yes, Mayor. That sounds like a really fancy yes.
Make a persuasion check, pirate. You got him on the horses. You got him on the gold, but the spells are a
Let's
different
see.
thing. Make a roll.
Persuasion. I'm really bad at this.
He's gonna roll too.
Oh, yeah. Take that. 12.
Oh yeah. I rolled a nat 20, so he's like no on that.
No
Negative.
ink on that. No free ink.
No.
That's have you seen the cost of wizard stuff? That's crazy talk.
Okay.
That makes the horses look cheap.
Okay.
Wizard stuff.
Yeah, that wizard stuff. Ooh, wizard stuff. Okay, so we're off to get your brothers now, plural, because you dwarves like to getting captured.
And
So
then
One's a cousin, the other's a brother.
Okay.
And just to be clear, we're taking off this banshee, so we're taking the healing potions. We're taking care of Darren's problem of the undead, and thus helping out.
Oh no, the
Actually,
lady,
yeah,
the
so she
banshee problem.
Yeah, you actually didn't say you were doing the banshee. So the sister's kind of looking a little bit sad and kind of like helplessly at you all.
Yeah, it's very helpful. But there's
She's
no
kind of
reason.
like giving you guys the like, are you sure you can't help my order? Sort of thing.
Okay, on the way back, sister.
Yeah,
On the way back.
Here's the
No.
deal. We have pressing matters. I don't know how long this banshee's been around, but it's undead, so it's not going anywhere. We'll deal with that later.
But we will deal
Plus,
with it.
if we're successful, we'll have a clerk with us, which is far better than a paladin for getting rid of undead. And I glare at my brother.
Which is much better than a bear as well.
So it sounds like the order of operations is going to be the owl well is on the way to Thunder Tree. So are you doing the owl well on the way to Thunder Tree?
As long as
To
it's on the
gauge
way.
how
Then you're doing
serious this
Thunder
region's
Tree.
problems are, we're gonna take on the
order
owl
is-
well first.
This helps the DM prepare for next time. See what I'm doing here? So the order is owl well, right?
Thunder Tree.
Thunder Tree.
Save the druid, because druids need
Okay.
so much saving.
Let us make some decisions here. First of all,
Saving the druid. We're just talking to
Morale,
the druid.
brother, which is a place you think we should go?
I know where this is going. You're not as
You
smart
don't
as
have
you
to agree
think.
with each other. You just agree with me.
I'm going in what the order that Pyric has already listed.
Aye.
You should probably come because you're supposed to be useful against undead, and that's where we're going first.
It's
Supposed to.
be. I'd like you to get beaten on a little bit more. Euphemia, what is your feelings? Which one should we go? This is your village, your auntie's house.
I like I think the path that Pyric has said is wise.
I feel your grace. You will decide the path of this. Now,
Oh, I don't want that responsibility. I mean, Euphemia, she's got that natural charisma.
No one asked the Minotaur.
Well,
Howland,
just
what
follow
do you
the
want to
herd.
do? You're
Yeah.
silent in this. Where do you want us to keep moving to?
Eric, you forgot to ask the most important question, which is, where's the most stuff you can burn?
I don't know. The power of the Nord is not a flaming problem.
Are you sure?
Personal.
That'll catch fire.
The only person who distinctly knows that Pyric may have just said, let it all burn, is Euphemia. And
That's
he
right.
trusts Euphemia to not. All the rest of this is speculation by people who do not understand that you get out of burning buildings.
Euphemia,
Right.
Euphemia thinks we should do the undead on the way to save the dwarves at the druid, and on the way backsies, take care of the banshees and the orcs.
You always speak logic.
Euphemia, that sounds like a good plan. Let's do your plan.
So, Sister Garelli.
Pretty sure that was the same plan that Pyre.
That's what you said, Pyric.
Oh, that sounded familiar.
I think
Let's
you're
do
all
that.
in. I think you're all in violent agreement. Excellent. So it sounds like going to the undead of the Owlwell. Then we're going to Thunder Tree. Again, the Thunder Tree thing is apparently there's a druid there, according to Auntie, that might know the location of Krogmar Castle, or maybe more. And also, don't forget in Thunder Tree, the Dendraz family has told you they have an heirloom hidden in there.
Heirloom.
So
Okay,
there
that's
might be
one of
some
them.
valuable there. And then you guys went back and forth on the way back or later. You were going to do the orcs and or the banshee. Not sure about the order there on that one.
We just don't know where the banshee is, right?
She can tell you where the banshee is. She knows where the banshee is.
Aye, so if you mark it down on the map, little sister, big sister, we will find it and kill it for you.
Well, she doesn't need to be killed. Just negotiated with. Don't never have to kill her. All right, perfect. Great. I think we have reached an excellent stopping point. Any other comments before we pause?
Yeah, two game questions.
Yeah.
Game question 1 is I ask Darren, if we're successful in our mission, will we all get badges of the Order of the Gauntlet?
Darren says, I'll see what I can do. I will see what I can do in regards to the order will definitely be grateful. So I will definitely look into that for you.
Euphemia sort of claps her hands in glee. And the second is an out-of-character question, so just a GM question.
Yes.
Is there an ability to get feats or anything in this?
Yes. Johnny, want to explain feats? They come later.
So what happens is every 4th level, you can add abilities to your ability. You have +2 you can add or split up to your ability scores, or you can opt to pick a feat instead.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch
There are
of
many
feats in this. There's a bunch of feats in the player's handbook. There's some additional feats in some of the other books. Some of the feats will give you like if there's a heavy armor feat, I think it is, that gives you this additional ability with if you're like a heavy armor expert, but it also gives you +1 strength. So some of them still add to your ability scores and give you something cool. But there's a whole bunch of them. There's one that gives you like +10 on a niche. It's a crazy one.
I'm thinking about point blank is what I want to try to get, to be able to shoot my bow into melee or something like that.
There's a crossbow expert one. I don't know about a bow expert one. There's a crossbow one where you can actually shoot point blank and it doesn't affect you in melee. But I don't know about a bow. But there is stuff.
Look it up.
There's a whole bunch in the player's handbook.
Okay.
Russ, do I know where Mayor Harbin pays his taxes to?
Where he pays his taxes to?
Yeah.
Do you want to see his tax returns? I
want to know who this is a fiefdom and who maintains it and protects it. I want to know who
make a history check, like a lore check for the area.
I love it. I love it.
You always follow the money trail. You always find the money trail.
I love that you thought of such a thing as that, and Russ had the wherewithal to tell you to make a check on it.
9.
Yeah, you're not really sure how Fandolin rolls in this respect.
Okay.
Well, because I thought when one of those episodes they said that they're not connected, right?
They're not part of the larger
Right.
The Sword Coast is all city states.
With our luck, he probably pays it to Spider.
And Fandolin's not part. We did talk about Fandolin's not part of one of the major city states. So they're on their own. But in terms of how Harbin works, unfortunately, DC 10 is kind of the lowest DC. So if you get a 9, you're pretty much SOL.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't know what's up with that.
I'm gonna run, guys. I gotta go pick up my daughter from gym.
Yeah,
so
all right,
I'll
guys.
see you guys next.
Thanks again, Rafe. I'll look up some feats for you, see if I can find that. And perfect, you guys. I didn't think you guys were going to try to do all these side quests.
Are we getting 100 gold piece in the 3 healing potions now, or when we're done?
No. Paid upon completion of the quest.
All right.
Although you're getting the horses up front, that's pretty good.
That was good.
All right, gentlemen, have a great night.
Achievement unlocked. You've made it to the end of another D6 Generation episode, the podcast whose humor has universally been acclaimed as not too horrible. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at info@the d6generation.com. If for some inexplicable reason you actually enjoyed this show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes. Thanks for listening and happy gaming.